السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. النهاردة أخوكم كده بقى في رحلة معايا. دي المرة التانية إن أنا أروح قناة الراي. المرة اللي فاتت عملت كان في اجتماع كده حوالين تطوير برنامج درسني وشركات بسيطة. النهاردة برضو في اجتماع، بس المرة دي هيكون اجتماع فردي، وإن شاء الله نشوفكم على خير كده وأوريكم لقطات من اللي هيحصل النهاردة أنا لسه مش عارف هيبقى الاجتماع عن إيه بالظبط، بس هنشوف. وانا رايح برضو دلوقتي اصور لكم المكان وانا داخل، ان شاء الله يعجبكم. زياره جديده، المكان جديد، مغامره جديده، معلومات جديده، ناس جديده. اشوفكم على خير، يلا استمتعوا بالمشاهده. هنا كده وصلنا للستيشن بتاعتنا. هدخل هنا دلوقتي نقطة security point في الجزء ده to check on my name, then I enter inside. Let's see. الساعة 3 إن شاء الله. مش عارف المنطقة المكان ده اسمه ايه؟ البدوي البودي. جيت مرة قبل كده بس ما عرفتش انطق الاسم. البودي. اعتقد دي الجزء الخاص بالاجتماعات. امال بيصوروا فين التلفزيون؟ فوق؟ الجنب الاخر؟ البودي. بودي كورب. يس. هنا؟ انا جيت هنا المرة اللي فاتت. رحت هناك. شكرا. درسني ابلكيشن.
Thank you for joining us. We got a lot of good feedback from you last time. This is more or less a follow-up of what we were working on last time.
That's great.
We had several things that we needed to finish first, and alhamdulillah now we're looking at this. We're trying to look at what teachers want, what teachers need, so we could provide teachers with the need to make learning and easier, or teaching easier for them and learning easier for the students.
It's great for you. It's a good step to take.
It's really simple. I put together 3 minutes. على أساس we could keep it short and concise and finish within an hour. As you know, don't take a lot of your time. Actually, have you seen our latest update of the application?
I guess not yet.
Okay, so how about I'll show you.
Because if I want to, I tried before to make a sign up for your account, but it was as a student.
Yes, so you could go ahead and do student. It's no problem.
No, please don't take me.
We showed you at that point in time it was a dummy application. Now we've taken it and we've actually released it. This is test data. So we finished. وسوينا more exams and we did more videos.
You added exams?
Exams, it's an internal thing. We still haven't launched it. We're actually testing it. And the idea is you go into امتحانات سابقة.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because here in Kuwait they are maybe, let's say, yearly. They change the type of questions or students tested in.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to take, but you have to follow up the Ministry of Education and English Department supervision to know all of these dates.
Right now, as a start, we're starting off with previous exams and امتحانات سابقة.
It's a good follow-up for them.
So imagine أنا بغير الطالب, and this obviously we're going to be providing for free to all students and all tutors. Okay, so you go into
Lucky
mathematics and you just have a list, and then you could either start it or just view what the correct answer is. Again, this is test data, and then an explanation of what the right answer is or why this is the correct answer. So this is some of the additions that we're doing, so we could
the colors also really like working in a home.
Yeah,
really.
It's we've worked hard, and I
it's really good for the eye itself.
We keep best practices and standards for both UI and UX.
These things really, because you are working with young children, so they like the colorful colors.
But this is what we're doing from this launch, within the next month before exams will be available for students, inshallah.
By the way, you have strong competitor there, which is me, because I'm doing revisions.
Great.
Because of the revisions of the first semester I did on my YouTube channel, I got more than 5,000 just in a month. So
from the revisions,
from revisions, just revisions. Teaching students how to do the mind map or the plan for writing. Teaching them how to do the writing itself, which is really comprehensive for most students, and they thank you about the simple way you are giving them. I told you before, you have to take care of low achievers or the students below the level that could communicate with you, because not all students could communicate with the teacher through the phone.
Yes.
This is really, really important to take care of.
Definitely.
When I signed up for Cambly, of course my level in English is good. So I don't need those teachers, I need them for a specific purpose for me, just inside me. I want to take from them phrases, new things for me, from their culture to learn. So I paid money to learn that. But when you go for YouTube and search for other learners, you find learners really below the level. And they are suffering to communicate with the tutor, the next side. So what happens from the other side? He is giving him more time than usual.
Yeah.
So you have to give your teachers this idea that you need to be patient while working with low achievers. It's really important.
Definitely. I'm going to start with the questions now. Now we're focusing on building an application catered to teachers. For teachers. And as you saw right now, where it's catered more and geared more towards students and how the student could achieve.
I can see that you are doing this. You have filled that gap well.
So, and there's always room for improvement in this, and we're looking at helping the teachers. So, from first question is, what's the most, or what difficulties and problems do you face as a teacher? And let's keep the bureaucracies out of it. There's not enough books, whatever.
We are talking about practical way.
Yes,
the solution.
We're looking towards the solution. So what difficulties do you face? Yes, exactly. And this is exactly how my questions are. Maybe the following questions as well.
So you are telling me to tell you about
what problems do you face, either preparing for the classes, teaching classes. What are the most issues or grading?
I have one major problem for my life in teaching: the number of students. It's really, the first school when I came to Kuwait working here, how many students were in my class? Just imagine. Give me a number.
20, 30.
Not that. But it was about 41, 42.
Okay.
It was like.
But what about the number of students?
So you cannot focus on them.
Is it not being able to focus on a specific student, or
just think for a moment. You are a teacher of English, okay? And you have a session about 40 minutes. And you are going to teach all these students. How much time for each learner for them to speak with you in English, to practice the language that you are going to teach him? It's really difficult equation to do it. How can I do that? Even if you are going to make a public discussion for them, it's not going to take more than 10 seconds speaking. So it is not fair for them. It's not really, I can see it fair. So the number of students really matter.
Sorry, what school are you teaching in?
It was here in Riga, but now I'm in another school. It's a
Okay.
middle school, and we have maximum students 28,
Okay.
which is still a big number for
Yeah.
me, because I still have low achievers.
Okay.
Let's say, especially when you have more than 5 low achievers at your class, it is really a big problem for me.
Yeah.
Even 2, I just need 1 to focus on them, because I can't leave all the brilliant students up there waiting for me to teach just 1 student.
Yeah.
So they feel bored from me, from the lessons. So, sir, you are wasting our time with him. We need to learn more.
Yeah.
Even when you have brilliant students, I'm not talking about wasting their time, but they have to learn too from me that you have to socialize with your friend. Not just me helping, you can help him too. But brilliant students, teachers always focus on them and use them excessively to help them with the low achievers. And they don't want to do that because it is not their mission. Even modern teaching ways ask us to make groups for students from different students, different types, to make them socialize. And we have to realize this. Brilliant students, we don't want to waste time on that. He is ready for that level and I want the next level. Don't put me at the same level. This I have this problem. Brilliant students and the number of students at the class. Unlike that, it's okay for me.
How do you identify low achievers? Is it by test scores? Is it, if you wanted to quantify
Yeah,
it?
I know. Okay, low achievers. See, when I enter my class, the first 3 days, of course I give them a brief idea about myself. Then I write a line on the board. I look at their eyes, some of them. So I was talking about
Low achievers, you write
low
a
achievers,
sentence
yeah,
on the board.
the sentence on the board. Some of them, their eyes just following the line. They are good readers. Others, they don't care about the board. Then you can start asking them, can you read it? That's 1. 2, while speaking English, you will find some of them answering or activating it. You are going to interact with some students. At that moment, when they hear your English, no Arabic, what is that? When you hear shouting in Arabic, you know that those folks aren't following you. Well, the upstairs, fish Arabic. So we need this at the class. Unfortunately, students here at primary stage are not they don't have good quality protection from there. Do you imagine that a student at grade 9 or grade 8 or grade 7, even grade 6, and doesn't know ABC, how to pronounce words, the letter itself can't read it. I don't know how you spell B from P, or how you can, when you see dog, you read it bog. It is not fair for them to be in the same class with brilliant students. So,
Have you thought about or used any technology to help address this issue with students or the low achievers, or technologies for high achievers to help them learn more or learn what they actually
I do that in my class, especially with the new curriculum here in Kuwait, which is saying the name of competences. The new book has كفايات, and it's called in other terms for some people كافيات. كافيات الحمد لله كافت الكل جابت الكل على الأرض. But it is really a good system and I love it because I have studied some of these while I'm still in Egypt. I know about terms of competences and I was really feeling happy that this will be applied in Kuwait. But unfortunately, the system of the school is not a preparatory for that. This depends on teacher's class. This is my class. This is Islam class for teaching English. That class for Mr. Ahmed for Arabic. That class for Mr. Ayman math. And teachers move from that class to that class. So this is my class. I have all my age with me. I have everything I could help you. After my session, you just leave your homework over here and go outside for your next session. So this is my room, and I go nowhere. Unlike the system of recent schools here in Kuwait, just students are the same, and you are supposed to move from that class to that class. How might I could take more than with me to help my students as teaching it? Taking my projector with me, taking my laptop, taking my tablet. If I want to take a chart with me, if I want to take balls, balloons, whatever I want, even if I want to use customs at my class. I can't enter each class, getting them in my hand, then moving them, go back, because I just have 40 minutes, moving to the next session. You are asking me over my capability, I guess, here. And then you are telling me, sir, you are using traditional ways of teaching. Excuse me, you didn't change your class, so I can't change myself. Give me a class, give me a place, and they will make it heaven for you for teaching English. I will do it as you want. I will give you pictures. Yeah, see, I missed that in my class. It's so simple idea. Just one chart, give it to me. This picture. Why I don't have a pin board? So I just did picture. Oh, achievement of the week. But I still, instead of, I have a solid wall. You know, so the classrooms need to be changed.
So when you say the classrooms need to be changed, you mean you prefer that you have one class or physical room dedicated to you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have that room?
Right.
Do you have that room?
Well, I'm not the minister, so
We could see how we could work around that to give you as close as possible. Maybe it's a virtual classroom. How about that?
That really, you are telling me that this is really a good solution. I went to Cambly because of that idea. Virtual teacher. And still, anytime, while he's having rest at his home, and he's telling me whatever he wants. Yesterday, I really had an interesting chat with him. It was amazing. Talking about Kuwait, talking about his country, nice places. So it was a good moment. Outside of the traditional terms of education.
Do you face any issues with communicating, what the assignment is, or any communication with the students or discussions with the students where they miss? Is there any gap there? Do you see?
Lucky for me, I'm still not that age. I'm still.
بس يعني مثلا لا
لكن
بس
هو
يعني
موضوع
أستاذ
صعب.
أنت ما قلت لنا في واجب. Or I don't know about this homework or
Actually, I have some kind of daily exercise, but not written exercise as usual. Sometimes I ask them, who can find for me the pronunciation of this word? EWE. Can you pronounce it, please?
EWE.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, we got it. Well done. You got it. So it's nice. It's a good information for them. You are enhancing them. Wow, you are making them aroused by that. And I also take with me chocolate. Just back to the chocolate with me for brilliant one or good answers, even from low achievers themselves. I give it for them when they impress me about a new answer. Wow, clap for him! No, that's an old style. This is from me. I use this way always. At the first 3 weeks, I give brilliant students that chocolate. Of course, others are looking at them. When you find him writing or following an advice from you, wow, let's say, Khalid, you did well, Khalid. See, Khalid did what I told before. Thanks, Khalid. That's for you today. Now you are giving him chance to change. One of my low achievers this year, while I was correcting his book, I was doing a group work. So I found him was active with his group. Wow, Ahmed, is it you? Yes, Ustaz. Okay. Then I'm moving around and looking for him far away. Oh my God, he's working with them. That's nice. And when I collected books, I wrote at the top of his of the page: شكرا أستاذ أحمد لمشاركتك اليوم الفعالة في الحصة مع تمنياتي لك بالنجاح والتوفيق. Accidentally, and it was not on purpose, the next day his mom was coming to the school to take him, and she saw me outside while I was walking away. Excuse me, sir, you are Mr. Islam? Yes. You teach Ahmed English? Yes. Actually, I'd like to thank you for your supporting words that you have wrote at the top. Wow, she is following me. Her boy, her son, is really a low achiever one. And she is struggling with him at home to help him. And now she found someone at school taking care of her son. Not only that, but supporting him with good words. She saw that by herself. I'd like to thank you. No one did that before. I know my son is not that good, but you are giving him hope. He went to home and he opened the English notebook by himself. I was surprised. And he is trying to memorize the new words for the next day.
But I have a question.
Yes.
So why do you think other teachers are not adopting this approach?
It depends. We have different learning styles. For our learners, for students, we have visual learners, we have auditory learners, and we have, bodily learners. So we have different learners, and we have also different types of teachers. They are not all the same. Even if we are English teachers, we are not the same. You have your own style, he has his own style. Also,
But do you communicate, sorry, I don't mean to interject,
No.
but do you communicate with other teachers or socialize with other teachers that I found this mechanism is helping my students achieve better? And I'm sure, or
you guys are an open-minded one. Why? Because you are listening from someone like me, ideas, just to improve your application, right?
improve teaching in Kuwait, inshallah.
It
And
is
education.
It's really, really good to have that goal. Setting that goal enough makes you move forward without non-stop. It is good, but just be patient and don't fall back outside. I'm telling you, yes, I took to my colleagues. I speak with them. I did that, but is he open-minded enough to do that at his class? It depends. His nature. I'm good with what I'm doing. Just punishing my students, giving them more homework. It's okay. I don't care. But others, yeah, it is really interesting, but it is like you are doing a lot of work at your class. You need to take rest. At my school, I have 5 sessions per day. 5 out of 7. You know that? Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? 5 sessions out of 7. Unlike other schools, they have 2 sessions. And they are not doing that extra work. You can do, man. You can do more.
How would you compare if you were to take metrics from a school and tell you, okay, I want to rate your performance against other teachers' performance? What metrics would you use? For example, the number of, does it mean anything, the number of students who had A's in your class, for example? I'm asking because I honestly don't know.
I think I didn't get it well.
How would you,
This is a new question for me.
if I wanted to look at your performance as a teacher,
Yes.
how would you rate it, or what metrics, KPIs would you use?
How will you measure it?
Measure what?
Your
My
performance
as a
as a
teacher.
teacher.
Let's say, for example, you have your principal, right?
Yeah.
Principal will say, okay, I have teacher A, teacher B, teacher C for English. Same grade, same class, okay?
I got it.
Yeah. How do they measure this?
Unfortunately, I wasn't before in their shoes. Yeah, so I wasn't in their position to.
But what do you think
judge,
would
but-
be the right metrics, let's say, like, you know, for example,
Let me tell you about this. I love teaching,
yes,
and I love new ways, new styles. I always try new techniques at my class. Each year, I have new ideas to do, to practice, to perform at my class. This year, unlike the last, unlike the previous one, unlike the before one, so each year I have new ideas. And the perfect ones, I keep with me to the next year. The useless one for me, it's out. One way to see my performance, of course my supervisors higher than me and know much better than me, but still, your customer, the learner himself, when they are satisfied with it, when they see the next year other teachers teaching them unlike you, and they come to you, Mr. Islam, please can you teach us this year? So even fathers themselves met me, one of them, I still remember his word. Says, Islam, انت ما تركتش فقط علمك عند ابني، انت تركت انطباع وحياتك جواه. Why؟ الله يحفظك ويبارك لك. دي مقولات مش اتحفرت في ذهني، اتحفرت في قلبي. Once, I love teaching. You know, it's amazing. You are not making an open heart surgeon here. You are touching his heart for the whole year, for his long life, inshallah. You know? Can you imagine if you are affecting him? I still remember one of my university classes with Mr. Adil Sheikh while I was doing high studies after spending a year in the army. It was methodology, and he was talking about a new term I've never met before: affective filter. Filter? We know filter, but it's affective. And he said affective related to emotions, feelings. When your learner passed on this affective filter from your performance at the class, talking to them, you are young, speak with them as a young man. You are old, try to get below to their minds. They are young, they are full of life. Don't talk about too many manners in front of them. Just give them a story included that manner, and they will get it from you. They will do it from you. One of the performance, I preferred not to tell them a story. I preferred to do it acting in front of them. I want to teach my class to be clean all the time. The moment I go to the class, I don't say good morning, I don't say assalamu alaikum. Oh, paper. Oh, another one. Just few seconds, no more papers on the floor. And I tell them, I wish if I could, next time I come to class and it's totally clean. You know, when you do that, you are getting a good deeds from Allah because you are saving the man who is coming after you go home, spending an hour cleaning the school for us. And you come the next day, some of them did, others not. What should I do? Do the same procedures too. Just keep doing it, the act. Affective filter again. If it is thick, no more loving. I don't love him, I don't love the subject. Yeah. If the affective filter is thin, then you are allowing them to learn from you, to love you. Passion. Because teaching is really important. And teacher development. You have to put in teachers the idea, it is not like a brick, not change. No, it is not so solid. Teaching is flexible, and you have to be flexible more. Learn new ways, learn new ideas. Just listen from others. Just as you have told me before, moments ago, have you offered your techniques to the teachers? Yes, I talk with them, but unfortunately, some of them makes a critics you. You are not taking money out. Man, this is not a good say. If you don't like the job, just leave it. Someone others maybe love it, come, but they are still there. These teachers really should enter for new sessions, for take courses for teachers development. They have to learn from people outside the recent world they are living in.
Yeah.
Really, this is really important. If I'm a teacher, as Islam for myself, I always seek learning new things. I always seek new information, new world. You know, days ago I got an invitation from Google Local Guide in California. They got me an invitation, just apply for the application, and they will have some kind of candidates. And when you apply, you go there for a week there, all expenses paid for them. Wow! So I'm really interested about this because I'm very yeah, amazing.
They have a beautiful campus there. I've been to it. Yeah. So beautiful. You'd love it.
Really?
You can ride a bike.
Yeah.
You went there too?
I've not been there, but I know about it.
I'm so excited about that.
Inshallah.
You know, I will take it because they are requiring to do a video about up to a minute, and I will put this moment in it. I did.
No,
wow,
it's good.
Really, it's a small word.
Yeah.
How come that I mention it and you tell me that you've been there?
I've been to San Fran.
Yeah, we are both US educated, so that's why.
That's why I'm speaking English well? You didn't learn here?
We did, but also abroad helped.
Yeah.
What about my English? Is it good?
It's perfect, excellent.
Really?
Yeah.
And this is self-development, by the way.
Yeah.
Really, if you listen to my English from, let's say, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, it's a disaster.
No, it's,
I realized this since I was in the second year of university. I will be a teacher. I could be a teacher and I can speak English right. It's not fair enough to pronounce. I think myself, it would be good, it would be bad looking if you pronounce words in a wrong way in front of your students. Even if they are good, and of course you are a teacher, you will convince them to learn it in a wrong way. He has no power to do anything in front of you. I'm a teacher, I have degrees. It's like that. It's measure, not measure. Measure, okay? The teacher said measure.
And this is what. Just one bit more specific question about the challenges that you're facing. If you let's talk more. Let's say something specific about the teaching itself. Okay, so now, for example, you mentioned the whiteboard, you mentioned the notes, you mentioned the number of students, that it's a challenge. Okay. Go ahead.
Have you studied on smartboard? Have you seen it in a class, smartboard?
I have, but not studied on it.
But you have seen one?
Yeah, I've seen one, yes.
I want to see one.
You want to what, sorry?
To see one.
Yeah.
Just from really?
Okay.
Really? It's a dream, man.
What do you like about the smartboard? Why do you think the smartboard will help you?
Enough for me to know the features of it. Really, just asking it to do a drawing, it just you can see a tree, having dropped, it drops. Man. This is a new era. This is the way we are talking about to teach our students. They need to see and hear at the same time.
Do you work with PowerPoint or you don't have projectors at all?
You got it. I don't have a projection. I just have a traditional board over there.
Okay. You like a blackboard? Or a whiteboard?
Actually, it's white.
It's a step up.
But 85 is 95.
Yeah.
But I have a black pen.
You have
to write on the white.
Okay.
And the green one.
Okay.
Red one.
You were to build an application. So, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. If you were to build an application, okay,
How do you
website. If you were to build an application with no limitations to help you with your teaching and to help you with career, to help you with sending the right communication to the students, what features will it include?
If I want to build a website or want to build an application for my learners.
Not only your learners, but also for you to make your life easier. So both.
Wow.
So what will it include? What?
Okay. First thing I do at my application, giving all the owners or all the one who come to my application or my website to know the importance of time. It's really important to give them a good definition or identification for the meaning of time. Because losing your time is really a waste.
And what in class, what takes up, or not only in class and out of class, within your job as a teacher, what takes the most amount of time, would you say?
I didn't get it well.
So you're saying understanding the importance of time.
Time, yeah.
So what takes the most amount of time? Grading, attendance, or
Or
you know, where
maybe
known
use
by
what wastes the most time.
or what wastes
What
the
is
most time?
most I think you should push them to what you want. If you want them to go for attendance, you have to give them information about that. You have to give them videos about that, acting about that.
Yeah, but for within your class, what's
In my
in your class? Okay, so you have, as a teacher, obviously you're preparing for a classroom.
Yeah.
Then you're teaching that class. Part of that teaching that class, you're taking attendance. You're there's several items you're doing.
Yeah, I'm observing at the same time all my learners with specific
So,
skills.
yeah, so what wastes the most time? And again, underline on the term
In
waste.
my classroom,
In your classroom or after classroom, for example, grading papers, you might see it as a waste of time because
of course,
that
it is a
would be-
waste of time, and I always collect my notebooks and books to take it at my teacher's room to do it because I don't want just waste a second for my learners to learn from me. But one of the problems that faced me wasting at school, noise.
What's that?
Noise.
Noise.
Not only that, students admire something called
waste.
side talking. You can just stop that whispering sound from them. You know?
Because you cannot focus.
I see. I think the true color.
I did that. You had to do that the most. You did.
No, I no.
Just admit it.
Just
Just admit it. Admit.
Not in front of offline, maybe.
Maybe a taser.
Out of record, yes. Okay, so we have side talking, that bad noise. Also, not bringing your book. And I was wondering, why you didn't get your book today? And he tells you what? I was studying yesterday at home and I forgot my book. Actually, I don't believe him. Because if you were really studying, if you care about studying, you will make sure that you put back your book in the bag. Because you have daily session for English. Why you didn't do your homework? What? Homework? I didn't know that. Because, yes, you are not interested in the subject. Because if you are really interested in that, you will go back to your room, open your notebook, and you will find that you have homework page, blah, blah, blah.
And how do you communicate the homework part?
Actually, I'm not that strict with the homework.
Well, usually is it تقويم أسبوعي or a paper that's sent out? This is how our Arabic and Islam teachers used to do it.
For me, I do the homework assignment for them, and just to give me what?
An indication.
No, maybe an indication. What? I'm looking further in the future. Is that man can do future jobs for future missions for him, future tasks for him? Because sometimes I ask things to do after a week. I'm not just raising my children, my learners, just English. I'm teaching them lifestyle, how to live a good life, how to be a good man in the future. Sometimes I ask them to do some research on the internet, and I want you to come back to me next week, tomorrow, and tell me what did you find. Let's say, what about the strangest house ever in the world? Can you get for me a picture? Even if you didn't have the chance to get a picture, just give me the name, location, and tell your friends about it. So these things are really important for me. You know.
What other items or features would you include?
No, I didn't expect that. I didn't see that coming. I mean that I didn't thought of that before. So,
Like, do you think, for example, we'll put some ideas out,
yeah.
okay, and you tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, if you were to have a one-on-one chat feature with the student, okay, outside of class, okay, like so the student anytime he wants to ask you a question he can. Is this something that you think will solve some headaches in the class, or do you think it will only create more problems?
No, I don't think it's related to any problems, because if you are one-on-one with the students, it's easy for you to find his mistakes, his faults, where are his drops, and you can just fix it easily because you are working with one. Do you remember the first problem? The number.
Yeah.
You just have one, and it is the lovely thing about technology, about these smartphones, that your full attention is there once you got it in your hand.
Yeah.
You know, you know already that I have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
When they come to that channel, to the video, they watch it from the beginning to the end, and they understand the lesson. While the same teaching were there at class, in front of him on the board. Why you didn't get it from the teacher and you got it from here? Even I'm using less sentences, less examples than your teacher did. Or maybe he was creative enough to give you a good lesson. But what happened here? He came here because he wants to learn. So, let's again. Yes, grammar lesson, unit 1. Oh, I got the lesson. He is coming by himself. Do you remember the idea of this is my classroom and he is coming to my classroom?
Yeah.
When you go by yourself, you want to learn. But when you find someone coming to you, I don't want it now. It's boring. It's not the proper time for it. You know? But when he wear up his clothes, let's go, I have a session. He is full attention for it because he knows that time is limited. You know? Yesterday I was having about 30 minutes talking to a strange man. 30 minutes by second. The conversation is done. So I have to seize every second of it. Talking to him, communicating with him, improving my English. If I had that, I could do that today, I shouldn't subscribe to the company because I'm talking English today.
Okay, just again because of the time importance, I'd like to shift to our last section. So we put together a list of features that we want to build and give it to teachers to use. The idea is I'd like to go over them. Once I go over them, let me know if it's important or not important. And then with the important ones, we could put or arrange them or order them from the most important to the least important.
You will go for them?
So first is announcements or broadcasts. So as a teacher, imagine this website or mobile application where you have a classroom and all your students are following this classroom or subscribe to this classroom. You could, as a user, you'll be able to send an announcement that will send it to everyone. For example, don't forget...
A notification.
Notification, exactly.
Yes.
And it'll be a list. Do you see this as an important or not as an important feature?
Of course, you know the word FOMO.
FOMO?
Yeah.
Yes. Fear of missing out, yes.
Yeah, it's really important. Yeah, notification is really important in phones.
Yeah.
You have to keep it on your top priority. Yes, giving me notification You know, YouTube have launched a new feature maybe 3 months ago or 4 months ago. It's a premiere show.
Yes.
You just upload it, and it's uploaded not just public or it's called premium show. So all your audience or subscribers at the same time watching your video, and you can skip it forward. Yes, you can go back, but while it's working forward, you can so you all your subscribers are watching the same thing at the same time. Once it's in, it's already there. It's okay, no problem, as usual. So this is a good feature. So you might think it could be as a live video, but it is not a live video at the same time.
Yeah.
It's always recorded before.
Okay.
It's already recorded, but it's shown for them as a new one live. A good feature about that, you can go online, chat with them. So your audience watching you online, and you are having your phone, seeing their comments, and you can answer them.
Like Instagram Live.
Like Instagram.
Yeah.
Unlike when you are live, you just read and you have to focus your speaking to someone for them. No, you are teaching the lesson, you are seeing the comments up there, and you can answer them immediately. So it's nice.
Okay. So you like the real time kind of instant interaction.
Of course, it's important. Just seeing your reaction, acting with me. Yeah. Take care of this. Thanks, I got it. Yeah, I have been missing that. Thank you, teacher. Yeah, it's really good.
So, for example, if this announcement is a quick one, if this announcement was like for example, like a Facebook status. You know, Facebook has a status. Have you use Facebook? No.
Yeah, I use it by.
Do you have status message? A status message. You can type a status message, and it comes as an announcement, for example, and then students start commenting on that.
As a post?
Yeah, as a post. Yeah, and then students start commenting on that post.
You know that YouTube has taken that before, put it in consideration. We have now community tab on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I put posters, I put pictures, even I say public other channels on my community tab, and my followers see it and just type for me their feelings, what they want. Yeah, this is good.
So I think this is part 2 of discussions.
Okay.
So
I guess it would take much time for your users to follow all these comments. I guess it needs time, because you have to show everyone who wrote that you care about him. You know?
maybe have some type of automated response.
They know.
They know.
Yeah, smart one of them.
Yeah.
So once he see that, he knows that you are not there,
So
and this is problem.
The
Because
next-
I am, I'm sorry about
Yeah,
that.
tell me.
No,
Because I have before coming to Kuwait, I have a Facebook page. It has about more than 50k student learners from all over the world. But I have dropped it now because I'm not interested in Facebook, because it doesn't give you anything. Just taking from you, but not giving it. So I don't care about it. I like YouTube. I did the same as you said, instant message. And I found that once they see it, they don't give you further comments, because they know for sure that you are not here for them. No. So be careful for that. I guess smart ones will figure it out. Will find out that.
the second part is, or the second feature we talked about is discussions. So you know how you said, what's the weirdest house? Where you said, okay guys, what's the weirdest house? Or let's have a discussion. So for example, what's the weirdest house? And students go and start comments, okay, I found this, I found this, I found this. So this is one way to take it. Another way to take it, if it's in higher education, let's say, what do you think about Keynesian economics, or this theory of Keynesian economics, and people start
You want to do discussions or not on the applications?
within the application. So it's a feature of discussions. So you as a
Strange.
teacher,
How you are going to manage that?
So-
I'm not imagining how you are.
So-
I was going to do that.
imagine you go in as a teacher, you create a discussion and you put topic, so discussion, and then you put topic, weirdest house, or biggest lake.
Okay, excellent.
Biggest lake. And then you have obviously text.
Where did you learn typing everything?
I type everything for a reason.
I wanted to learn. You have to teach me how to write like that.
You could read it?
I did it, yes. I'm a
Okay.
teacher.
True.
I know it.
That's why I type everything.
Just you are saying what you're writing. That's why it makes that's what makes it easier for you to figure
okay.
out what link.
Okay. Okay, and then you have, you know, discussion or description of whatever, and then students start to comment. So as
So
one,
it would be as comments.
as comments, yes. So comment one, you know, Lake Oklahoma or Lake Tahoe or
Oh, I got it now. So just like the idea of post and
yeah,
they
it's
type
the post is
below.
I think is a one-way communication. This is a two-way communication or a multi-way,
What about
multiplex.
making discussions like debate, online debate?
This is
Yes,
it's
this
a
is
discussion.
essentially what it is.
It's the same thing, but you can
It's
call
nice.
it debate.
It's nice to have. Think of it to have two columns, each one of them online. Students, are you agree or against, like argumentative type?
Debate. Then you're talking about the moderator and you know these
Yeah.
kinds of things. But
Are you for or against traveling abroad for work? So you have to give them time to pick a side. Then you determine the day and the time. They all go online, and you got 3 jobs. I would give them just one say after listening to all these ideas, opinions, listening to each other. And the one who wants to take turn in speaking, he just do like emotion or like
Yeah.
that. I think
Click of a button.
yeah, it's up to you how you can design that. I didn't get in this industry, so I don't have.
so online debate basically.
Yeah, I love it because I did it at my classroom. Imagine ordinary classroom, and you are sitting your class into 2 rows, and each one of them having a paper writing grade 7. I'm talking about grade 7, young learners, and they did really a good discussion, good debate. I was shocked about that. How did you do that? I didn't imagine that you could get that like that way. It was amazing. I loved it.
And the other thing is we thought about is assignments. So assignments, you give your students assignments,
Yes.
or you know it could either be a assignment where they upload the document. For example, write an essay about, you know, whatever it is, and then they write it up and they upload it. Or it could be somewhat similar to our quizzes or tests or assignment, or something within class submission.
So, let's say MCQ, it would be easy for you to do it because
Yes.
you just pick A, B, C, D. What about writing?
You upload the document or you write it within the application.
And how would you correct that?
So the way we thought about it, and correct me if there's any holes in it,
It's really
we're taking it online more or less. So imagine you create an assignment. The assignment is, you know, read pages. So my assignment is read pages 1 through 27. Okay. Yeah, I'm a tough teacher.
You also want to get over quick.
yes, I really wanted to finish the curriculum in just one session.
You know, and then answer the following question. You know, what's
one instruction from one of the supervisors of education came to us, and he said, when you give your learner a question, please don't make it as an question about whole passage looking for it. In it, sir, look at paragraph number 1 and find out the answer for this question. You have to show him that this is your spot. This is the highlighted passage to look for an answer inside. But don't leave it anxious, because when he feels tired from looking for the answer and you are telling him, no, it is not that. Search again. You are asking him to read about what? 10 lines, 12 lines, finding an answer, 2 words maybe, just 1 word, and maybe sometimes he is missing that the question 2 is asking about time and he's looking for a place. Wow, he is totally misleading. So you have to make not
definitely
just read from 1 to 27.
we'll get to it, yani, whatever the assignment is. Just imagine, read this and then write an essay about how the underdog overcame his fears.
By the way, let me tell you first before I forgot. Essay writing just for second stage.
Whatever it is.
Just mention because intermediate they have just to write a paragraph or two paragraphs.
Yeah, or it could be paragraph, and then so as a student, browse. Getting better. حسن خطك. I'm used to it. That's why I typed everything.
Yeah, it's better for you.
So, you just upload and then you submit. Now, after you submit on your dashboard as a teacher, you'd have student 1, student 2, student 3, date, status, download.
How much should the learner pay for you to get all that?
Should we review?
Maybe
we're still working on our prices. We haven't decided the prices yet.
I'm doing really
Yeah, but we will. It is a huge effort. Yes.
So imagine,
I think is this application already used in a country, other countries?
There are similar
I have
applications.
seen الإمارات المتحدة or something like that.
There are similar applications, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Successful?
Yeah, there's quite
For teachers
For teachers,
For teachers, only cons.
But what we're doing is we're trying to focus on the teacher, see what the teacher requires, so we could again start working on this.
You can hit for the ministry itself. Hit there, hit hard, because teachers are following the instruction from them. If they ask you to do it, so of course all of them, it's a must. And they have
But to go to the ministry, we have to go with the full product, with the ready
course, yeah,
product.
yeah.
And again,
That's why we want to know what the teacher wants.
what the teacher wants. There's an actual need
for
for
sure.
it.
And I want to do that for
Your voice is heard here.
That's good. That's why I love to come to you again.
Thank you.
You are a type of people I don't meet a lot in the Middle East, because one day I'm sure I will be out of that. I'm sure.
Yeah. So from the student, this is what the student sees. Okay. You click on download, you'd be able to read what he wrote, and then you'd be able to give a grade. So this is what we have in mind, and then
This is for students.
this part is for students. This part is for teachers. So it's going to have both sides for teachers and students.
So for me as another teacher to evaluate the learner when he comes to me,
You are the teacher. You
Assigned
gave
to-
assignment homework. Your homework is read X number of pages.
so you are telling me that one teacher fixed to some students
Some
on your
students.
applications.
Yes.
The students in your
We're
class.
replicating the classroom.
Yes. So all the students in your class.
Tell me that.
Yeah.
You are trying to connect the system Kuwait. I'm a teacher
Yes.
and my learners connected to me outside that classroom,
Yes.
online through your application,
Yes.
and I can just put my assignment there.
Yes.
They give it to me back.
Yes.
And we'll send them a push notification when they have an assignment due.
What is the benefit for me as a teacher?
No paper. Okay.
It's another problem.
Time.
Until
You
you-
save time. You save time.
So with
okay,
MC questions, it could auto grade.
this is good for me, yes. But let me tell you this. What about old teachers? They are
No.
not fan of technology, and they are a majority. What would you do in that situation?
It is something that would take a generation to change, obviously.
Change is.
Change is
difficult.
hard.
Yeah.
And again, this is
That's what
why
I'm talking about.
we are looking at teachers, key teachers such as yourself, because to be able to change this across everyone, it's going to take time. There's a lot of training to be put in place. As you mentioned, our app's UI is nice. This is because we go through several iterations and we do it one way and then we look at it and then we're like, no, let's do it again. Let's redo it until we reach a point where it's more intuitive. Now, you know, so what we're trying to do is, you know, maybe you're using it, but the teacher in the next class isn't using it. Maybe your students have a discussion with the students from the next class, and the students from the next class go to their teacher, use this, we want to use this.
I just wanted to mention for you that not all students are the same.
Definitely.
Of course.
Definitely.
Some of them may take the phone from his father or his mother to use your application. He just with a click, with a press, move to another app, playing, wasting, and once his father or mother figure out that he is not doing what he's supposed to do, he's going to just delete that idea from his mind. You have to put this in your consideration, because families care about their children, and besides that, you need to change the idea in the family's mind, headers. You know, they don't. I'm not a fan of technology. I'm sorry. If my son uses the phone, he's wasting time.
We have some precautions that we're putting for that. We understand that it is a concern. But the idea here,
it is really important because
definitely.
Your customer, maybe you couldn't find him.
But let's consider that students are willing to get onto the application. They're willing to follow and look at this. Just for the sake of
looking to a bad side.
لا صح. Let's just look at from a feature wise. You know, is it
معنى تمام. يبقى المساحة عندي خلصت، ده ممكن يبقى كلمة تسجيل انت.
مش مشكلة هلا التسجيل خليه بعدين.
خليه اوكي.